In a democracy, the right to vote is an equal opportunity affair. It's not restricted by race, sex, belief, or social status. Disability is also equal opportunity. It can occur at any age, no matter what race, gender, social, economic, or educational level. Yet people often feel uncomfortable when interacting with a person with a disability because they don't know what to say or do. Trust me, people with disabilities are just like everyone else, just with a disability. So when you're interacting with a person who has a disability, simply use common courtesy, the way you would with any voter. Here are a few points to keep in mind. Use people-first language. What that means is, refer to the individual first, not the disability. For example, a voter who is blind, a candidate who uses a wheelchair, an elector with a learning disability. Address your questions and comments directly to the person with a disability, not to their companion or assistant. And it's perfectly okay for you to offer assistance, but remember, that person may not need or want it. If your offer is accepted, ask for instructions on the best way to assist them. Don't make assumptions about what type of assistance a person with a disability might need.
For those of you wanting an official definition, legal blindness is defined as having corrective vision of 20/200. Many people who are blind have some vision. Some use guide dogs, some use a white cane, and some may require sighted guide assistance when visiting a new location. People who are blind or have low vision may or may not read Braille. When speaking to a person who is blind, speak in a normal tone. Identify yourself when starting a conversation. After all, we don't read name tags. When guiding a person who is blind, offer them your elbow as a guide. Allow them to take your arm, not you taking theirs. Describe your path as you're walking. And most importantly, lead. Don't push or pull. And if they have a guide dog, don't grab the harness handle. Remember, when dealing with a guide dog or a service animal, never pet the animal without the owner's permission. And please, please don't ever distract the dog. If you're giving directions, make sure they're useful directions. Don't just say over there. Give them something concrete.
Here's your ballot ticket. Okay, and the machine will be about 4 steps to your right and about 1 step to your left, and it'll be right in front of you.
Perfect, thank you.
Don't leave a person in empty space. Provide them with a physical object, like a table or a chair, so that they may remain oriented.
Would you like some help to over to the table?
Sure, that'd be great.
Okay. All right, and here's the table. Stop real quick, and there we go. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you.
People use wheelchairs and other mobility aids, such as walkers and canes, for a variety of reasons. Some have paralysis, others neurological disorders, or one of any number of other things. So wheelchair users have a wide range of abilities, and a similar range of assistance may be needed. Here's an important concern. Don't hang or lean on someone's wheelchair. It's part of that person's personal space. It's not a piece of furniture. You wouldn't just walk up and lean against a complete stranger, would you? And please, never push a wheelchair without asking the user if they want to push. Remember, it's their choice. They may not need assistance.
A cognitive disability can be caused by many things. A brain injury, a learning disability, or something that's developmental. But whatever it is, don't talk down to a person with a cognitive disability. In some cases, it's difficult to understand what's being said. That's okay. Just tell the person to speak slowly. If you can't understand what's being said, don't pretend that you can. It just makes things worse. Just ask the person to repeat it. Speak in concrete terms. Use short sentences. You may need to break instructions down 1 step at a time. Some people with disabilities may need extra time to cast their ballots. That's okay. Be patient.
People who are deaf or hard of hearing use a variety of methods to communicate. Some hearing impaired people use sign language as a primary form of communication. Some don't. Many hard of hearing people rely on a combination of hearing aids and lip reading. Not all deaf people speak or read and write. Find out how the person communicates. Follow the person's cues to find out if they prefer gesturing, writing, or speaking. Or just ask the person what method of communication works best. Speak clearly and in a normal tone of voice. Shouting or exaggerating doesn't help communication. If the person is using a hearing aid, it will be calibrated to typical voice levels, and your shout will just sound distorted. Don't cover your mouth with your hands or talk with food in your mouth. Exaggerated lip movements will just make speech reading more difficult. Natural facial expressions and gestures are an important communication tool for anyone. To get a person's attention, call his or her name. If there's no response, give a visual signal such as a wave or a light touch on the arm or shoulder. Please, if an interpreter is present, speak directly to the person, not the interpreter.
I need you to ask her to show me her ID.
Ignoring the person who's actually there to vote is impolite.
Oh, I'm sorry. Could I see your ID, please?
Like we've said, in so many ways, people with disabilities are like everyone else. Can you guess what disability I've got? Didn't think so.
Remember, state and federal laws now require that people with disabilities have equal access to voting, including polling places and the opportunity to vote privately and without assistance.